Gus Johnson is the lead play-by-play announcer at Fox Sports. His epic calls have gone down as some of the best in sports history, making him the most exciting voice in the industry. Take a look.
Wardenschlager to the sideline, caught. First down. Woo! What a hit! Denzel Ward! You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
I'll tell you what this game has turned into.
Bar fight. Broken glass everywhere by the time this one is over. Look at the intensity. He could play for Coach Meyer or Coach Chris. He is focused on a cold night. So cold, folks. A guy could rob you with a bucket of water. Joe Thomas Better. Who says I can't win a big game? Bridges, desperation. Oh! Baldwin drives. Baldwin up. Oh, too strong. Tapped up. And in. Down the field. Hollywood. Touchdown.
Everyone, please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Gus Johnson. Woo!
What's up? How you doing?
Hey, good. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you're here for the Big East Conference basketball tournament. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, it's teams from the East Coast, teams like Villanova and Providence and Seton Hall and Creighton, all the way from Nebraska.
What?
So they
Nobody? Cool, just me.
So they all come to New York once a year to play in a round-robin tournament, and the winner becomes the Big East champion, and it's at Madison Square Garden, and it's one of the most exciting times of the year if you love basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And you're the lead play-by-play announcer. So, I mean, tell us about that. Like, what do you have to do? Can you, like, announce something we're doing right now?
Well, yeah, I probably could. I mean, it depends on how much you pay me, but, you know.
I thought we were going to just hang and have some good times. I thought we were buddies.
We
were
are
talking
buds.
about socks.
It's a new relationship.
He just tried to charge me.
But, yeah, as a lead play-by-play guy, you know, you want to know the teams. And, you know, I'm very familiar with the teams because I've been covering them all season. And you go in there and, you know, I do 2 games a day up into the championship game on Saturday. So you want to be prepared. You want to know the guys. You want to have a sense of, you know, not only the stats and all that crap, but the stories about people, because this is what it's about more than anything. It's about these young men that are out there on the floor competing for their schools, competing for themselves, you know, dreaming of one day making it as far as they possibly can go.
Are you ever worried about having a boom goes the dynamite moment?
I've had them.
Have you?
Oh, my God.
How do you get past those? Because you're talking so fast and it's going so quickly, it has to be hard not to just be like, I don't know what to say next.
That's a good question. When I first started, I had a great first show when I was in Waco, Texas. The second show, it was literally a boom goes the dynamite moment. I was just, oh, man. But those things happen sometimes, and, you know, you want to write things down as much as you can, because you do, from time to time, have brain freezes, and you just forget not only what you're saying and who you're saying it about, but dang near where you are. Right. So, you know, I try to just, you know, write some things down and make sure that I'm relaxed and comfortable and paying attention to what the kids are doing on the floor.
And you mentioned the stories being such an important part of what you do. Is there a player or a team that has a really good story this year that we should be looking out for?
You know, I like this kid. There are a bunch of them. You know, Villanova has a kid named Phil Booth, who's from Baltimore, a kid named Eric Paschal, who's from Dobbs Ferry, New York. They're great players. They're probably going to be pros. There's a kid by the name of Mac McClung at Georgetown. And, you know, I like to give people nicknames. So, you know, he's a white kid from Virginia, and I call him Mac Daddy and people like that. So, but the kid that I like the most, his name is Miles Powell. His nickname is Cheese, and he plays for Seton Hall. And Miles can shoot the blood out of the basketball. I mean, he can really shoot it, and he's from Trenton, New Jersey. So every time he does something big, I like to say, what Trenton makes, the world takes. People love that, and he's one of the more compelling stories of this year's tournament.
So you mentioned Creighton. I have to say, I haven't been following them closely this year. How are they looking?
They're looking good. They started off slow, but Coach McDermott down in Omaha managed to rally them late in the season, and They finished 500 in the conference, and they still have an opportunity to go to the NCAA tournament, depending on how well they play in this Big East tournament.
All right. Thank you for the update.
You got it.
So you have a voice that is just naturally great to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And did that lend itself to, obviously, broadcast, but were you like, okay, I have to do something with my voice? Or how did you find broadcast?
You know, I was in college, and you know, I went to Howard University. Go Bison, rather. Hail the might of the blue and white. That's what we say. But my mom was very instrumental. When I would put my applications in, she would always say, you know, give me the application so I can put the check with it, and we'll send it off. And I would check lawyer or doctor or something that I thought that I should be. And she would always check communications on the box and send it away. So I would get all this stuff about communications from different universities. And when I got to college, you know, I realized that being a doctor definitely wasn't something I could do based on my science and math scores. And it kind of found me, and I kind of found it. And yes, I've taken voice and diction classes. I used to study with the man right down the street from here named Sam Schwa, who's one of the best diction teachers in America. And you know, and I worked hard at it, and you know, I work on my voice. I have worked on my voice since the very beginning, and I think it's a weapon, and it's helped me, you know, have different gears, different levels,
Right.
to go up high, to go down low, and I think it gives the broadcast some texture.
Yeah. Is it something you're consciously playing up when you call games, or now you just know how to
I
use
think
it?
it's a combination of both. When I was younger, you know, I tried to have the sportscaster's voice. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world. You know, I tried to do that, which was good training.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Oh, you like that? But I think over time, you know, I wanna be me.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm from Detroit. Came from good family, good community. I want to bring that Detroit in there sometimes, because I think that's what gives a broadcast some richness, and as I said, texture. And especially in today's world where, you know, people want to be themselves. People want you to be yourself. And it's been pretty successful for me so far.
Yeah. And can you share with us any of your sort of most memorable moments or calls?
Well, you know, I've had a bunch, to be honest with you. But I think the one that really stands out, I was doing a game in the NCAA tournament years back, and UCLA was playing Gonzaga. Gonzaga was up by 17. And all of a sudden, UCLA comes storming back, and Gonzaga had one of the best players in the country at that time, a man by the name of Adam Morrison, and he was just a great kid. And he knew this was his last year. He was going to leave to go to the NBA as a junior. And UCLA came back and won. And at the end of the game, you know, and that's what makes the NCAA tournament and college basketball and the Big East tournament so special, because these are kids, and it's emotion, and there's an innocence about it. And at the end of the game, he broke down and cried. I mean, right in the middle of the court. You couldn't have staged it any better. And he showed, you know, he had his heart on his sleeves, and that's one game in particular that always sticks out in my mind.
Thanks for sharing.
So I'm not what you call a sports guy. Like a lot of the words you mentioned, I don't know what they mean. But you know, when going up in high school to college to work, always watching my friends like fill out these brackets, I was like, what is happening with these brackets? I want to know what's happening. How do I win some money too? I don't know what is a bracket. I want to figure it out. What advice would you give me, or anyone, for some tips and tricks to filling out a winning March Madness bracket?
Okay, I'll give you tips. Because you probably don't want to get all into the specifics and the numbers and stuff. So if I were you, I would just pick my team based on which color uniform you like the most.
Honestly, that works.
That is what I do.
Yeah.
Whatever color uniform you like, if you can figure out the colors, because there's so many teams.
True.
But pick them out based on that, or pick them out based on the name you like, or you just have fun with it, because you know, I don't think Warren Buffett is going to be offering that $1 billion for a perfect bracket anymore. But you know, just have fun with it. You know, throw a dart at it and pick it. So you know, you can be surprised, because usually that's how people win. They don't really pay too much attention to it, and they don't, you know, go in depth with it. They just, you know, stream of consciousness and keep it going.
So it really could be for anyone, the casual viewer and the super sports fan. Just everyone should have fun and get involved.
Right. The super sports fan is going to do that anyway.
Right.
But the casual sports fan is the fan that we want to attract. And I don't think you need to pay a whole lot of attention to it. It's not brain surgery. Just go in there and, you know, figure out your formula And even if you got to sprinkle a little magic dust on
I
it.
do have magic dust.
That's right. You sprinkle some magic dust on it, and maybe some stuff will work out for you.
Okay, I'll let you know how it goes.
Well, thank you so much for being here and helping Lucas.
That's right. Luke, I got you, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me.